Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about not giving consent to the police, okay? Especially if they say that they have a warrant. Now I did a short video of this. I like doing the short videos because they generally have more reach, and I'm able to get the word out further, right? More people can see it. But now we're going to do a detailed video about not giving consent. So hopefully by now most people know that you're not supposed to say anything to police. You're supposed to invoke your Fifth Amendment right, like straight, not like in a roundabout way. It has to be direct. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. I want to talk to my lawyer. I don't want to talk to you, okay? So it's got to be direct like that. And also you have to say, I do not consent to a search. Okay, now that search can be in many forms. It might be a search of your car. It might be, them knocking on the door and saying, hey, there's a record with the state. If your state basically records gun transactions, that you've bought multiple guns of the same type recently, and they would like to see them to make sure that you haven't been flipping them and selling them. Again, that's a search, okay? So invoke your Fifth Amendment right not to talk to the police, and do not consent to a search, and that includes showing them whatever they want to see, okay? Because in the course of that conversation, you may unintentionally incriminate yourself, okay? And a lot of times it's just a matter of saying the wrong thing, or saying the right thing the wrong way. So if the police knock on your door and they say that they have a warrant, okay, they will, first of all, if they got the warrant, they're coming in. You're not going to stop them, okay? You're going to ask to see this warrant, okay? But you can't keep them out. They're going to enforce the warrant. However, they are always going to ask for consent at some point during the search, okay? And what they're doing is they're giving themselves an extra layer of protection in terms of making sure that anything that they find can be used in court, because there might be limitations in the warrant, okay? The warrant might be very limited in scope. It might be limited to only search certain rooms, or only search the property of a certain person. So there might be limitations in the warrant that you're not going to be aware of, right? And you're not going to, even if when they hand you the papers, you're probably not going to be able to read through it fast enough. So the safest thing for you to do, when they ask for consent, is say, no, I do not give consent, okay? I'm not going to interfere with whatever you have to do, but I do not give consent to a search, okay? Now, here's the thing. They might be at the wrong house, okay? Or the evidence that was presented to the judge, or the probable cause, rather, that was presented to the judge so that they can get this warrant, might be wrong, okay? I mean, all you gotta do is look at the Trump case, right? And you can see how, how much funny business is going on with the courts. So there might be lots of things that are wrong with this warrant, okay? The way that this probable cause was accumulated, the way the warrant is being executed, there's lots of things that can be wrong. You don't know what mistakes were made even prior to the police showing up at your door. You don't know what mistakes are being made while they're executing this warrant. But if you give consent, okay, none of that matters. All these mistakes don't matter, because now you've given consent to a search, and anything that they find can and will be used against you, okay? So don't talk to the police, okay? Don't give consent. Remember, it is illegal for the police to lie to you, okay? They can say all sorts of lies to you, okay? I recently saw a video where they showed up at somebody's house, and they said that they had a warrant, but they couldn't present the warrant. They say they didn't have it printed, so that they were asking for consent. A lie, okay? That's the level of lying that they're allowed to use, okay? There's no limit to the amount of lying that police are able to do, okay? You know, they can say they can have multiple witnesses. They can say that they got your mother's testimony. They can say your wife said this. There is no limit to the amount of lying that police can do. Okay, they can say they got you on video camera, and they've done all these things, right? They've done all these things in cases. They will do anything and say anything to get you to talk, okay, and get you to give consent, get you to waive your right to an attorney, get you to allow for a search, okay? And they're going to say anything. So what they will, and they're going to try multiple tactics. They're going to try to be friendly. The most common lies is that you're not in any trouble. They're here to help you. You know, they're going to, they're going to try to, they'll be friendly. Then they'll be threatening you and saying that, hey, if you don't cooperate with them, they're going to tell the judge to throw the book at you. There's no limit to the amount of lies that police can tell you, okay? This has already gone through the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court affirmed that the police can lie to you. So that's the world that we live in, okay? It is legal for the police to lie to you. So invoke your Fifth Amendment right, and that means actually shut up, okay? Stop talking to them. Now, if you're involved in a self-defense type of situation, you're gonna have to establish like what they call the general dynamic, that you had to protect yourself. So you're gonna have to give a general idea of what happened. That person tried to hurt me. I had to defend myself, and I need to talk to my lawyer. Okay, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Right. So that's the extent that you're going to talk to the police. Some things that you will be concerned with is the preservation of the evidence. Okay, so if the evidence is being moved or the wind is moving the shell cases, yes, that's something that you want to talk to the police about and say, hey, listen, when EMS came through here, they moved the gun, they moved the knife, they kicked the shell cases all over the place. Okay, you want to point out the witnesses. Okay, so you can talk to that extent, but that's it. You don't sit there and start blabbing to the police. Okay, you're gonna make mistakes. The advice that police give to other police, the police unions tell their police officers that if they're involved in the shooting, they're not allowed to say anything until the police union lawyer shows up. Okay, so give yourself the same protection that the police give to themselves. Okay, so invoke your right to remain silent. Okay, and very explicitly say that you do not give consent. Now, the reason why I know these things is because I've gone to these seminars hosted by Lawshield. This is my prepaid legal service. They're cheap. They're $10 a month. Okay, and then with this promo code over here, Pocono Shooting, you either get 1 month off, 2 months off, free rather, right? You either get 1 month free, 2 months free, or $20 off, depending on your state. So the promo code is Pocono Shooting. You do have to sign up through the website, which is over here, in order to get that to apply that promo code. But for $11 a month, I definitely recommend having a prepaid legal service. One of the questions that they will ask you is, once you invoke that Fifth Amendment right, they will ask you, okay, who's your lawyer? Okay, so at some point you're gonna have to contact the lawyer. So you want to have this basically. You want to have a number that's saved in your phone. Okay, this is my lawyer, U.S. Lawshield. This is the emergency number, because they give you two numbers, right? They give you a general number, like if you want to call in and just ask questions, and they have an emergency number if you really need a lawyer right now. Now, speaking of questions, one of the ways I use this legal service is, aside from if I'm ever actually in trouble, I will call them up and I will ask them gun-related questions, self-defense related questions. If I'm traveling, I'll ask them, gun traveling questions. They'll give me an itinerary, which states I can carry a gun through, which states I have to unload the gun, which states I should avoid altogether. So definitely recommend a prepaid legal service. Some are as expensive as $50 a month. This one's $11 a month, right? And then, like I said, with the promo code, you gave it 1 month off, 2 months off, or $20 off, depending on your state. Promo code is Pocono Shooting.